You stare at the glowing blue numbers on your digital alarm clock. Your tired eyes burn in the dark. You have been told by modern doctors that missing your perfect 8-hour window of pure, uninterrupted rest will slowly destroy your cardiovascular system and rot your memory. The real answer is far stranger. What if this ideal of perfect, unbroken slumber is actually a modern biological trap? Your ancestors never slept this way. They rejected your silent, sterile bedrooms. To answer the question, what did ancient humans actually sleep like? You must look at how those who lived before the light bulb actually spent their nights. The truth is written in your genes. Did you know your current exhaustion is actually a product of industrial factory whistles? Picture a dark, freezing savanna. A small fire crackles in the dry dirt. Around the orange flames, 10 Paleolithic people huddle together on wild grass with their shoulders pressing tightly against each other for warmth. No wooden bedroom doors exist here. How could anyone find deep peace in such a dangerous, exposed environment? Your modern mind demands total quiet. Your brain craves complete physical isolation. But for thousands of generations, your ancestors fell asleep to the rhythmic crackle of burning oak, the rustle of dry leaves, and the soft breathing of their kin. They welcomed these comforting noises. Why do you think electric white noise machines are so popular today? Consider the historical records of Europe. Historian Roger Eckertz gathered thousands of old diaries. He discovered that before the Industrial Revolution, people routinely woke up in the middle of the night to read books, pray, or visit neighbors. This period was called the Watch. Did you know that your ancestors split their night into 2 distinct periods of slumber? You used to sleep twice. This is called biphasic sleep. Biphasic sleep is a natural pattern where you divide your rest into 2 separate blocks, separated by an hour or 2 of quiet, productive wakefulness. You lost this natural pattern. Would you feel less anxious if you knew your midnight waking was completely normal? The first sleep began at dusk. The second sleep followed the watch. During this midnight gap, your ancestors would stoke the wood hearth, chat with their bed partners, or simply lie in bed reflecting on their dreams. They did not panic about insomnia. Why did modern society trade this peaceful midnight pause for a stressful race against the clock? Look at modern hunter-gatherers. Researcher Jerome Siegel studied 3 traditional societies. He tracked the sleep habits of the Hadza in Tanzania, the San in Namibia, and the Tsimane in Bolivia using wrist-worn activity monitors. These groups live without electricity. Would you expect them to sleep longer than you do in your comfortable bed? They actually sleep less than you. Their average sleep is 6 hours. Despite having no artificial screens or glowing phones to keep them awake, they rarely experience the long, unbroken rest that your doctor recommends. Their bodies feel highly energized anyway. How do they maintain such high vitality on so little rest? The answer lies in the air. Ambient temperature directs their internal clock. They do not go to sleep when the sun goes down, but rather when the air temperature begins its steady, nightly drop. Their bedrooms are the open sky. Did you realize your thermostat might be keeping your brain artificially awake? Your heater mimics endless summer. Your air conditioner creates flat winters. By keeping your bedroom at a constant, unchanging temperature, you deprive your brain of the thermal cues it needs to slide into deep rest. Ancient sleep was dynamic and changing. Could a simple drop in room temperature cure your tossing and turning? Another scientist looked at the tribe. Anthropologist David Sampson studied the Hadza sleep schedule. He discovered that out of over 200 hours of recorded sleep, there was only one single minute where every tribe member was asleep at the same time. Someone was always awake watching. Is your brain designed to keep a lookout during the darkest hours? This is the Sentinel hypothesis. The Sentinel hypothesis is a theory. It states that group-living animals evolve asynchronous sleep schedules, so that someone is always awake to guard against predators. Your ancestors survived because of this. Does your midnight anxiety make more sense when you view it as an ancient survival tool? Your brain is a sentinel. It scans the silent bedroom. When you wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart pounding, your brain is simply performing its evolutionary duty to protect the tribe. You are not broken or sick. What if your insomnia is just your inner guard dog barking at shadows? Examine the ancient bed. You sleep on memory foam. Your ancestors slept on compressed piles of ash, insect-repelling leaves, and animal hides that they constructed directly on the hard earth. These beds were surprisingly clean. Have you ever wondered why you feel a strange urge to plump your pillows? Archaeologists found beds in South Africa. These grass mattresses are 77,000 years old. Researchers found that the builders burned their old bedding regularly to kill off biting insects and clear out unwanted dirt. They practiced advanced domestic hygiene. Could a pile of ashes actually be cleaner than your modern mattress sheet? Consider your sleeping posture today. You sleep on giant soft cushions. Without a flat, firm surface to support your spine, your muscles must work throughout the night to keep your skeletal frame aligned. This causes chronic morning back pain. Did your ancestors suffer from the same stiff necks that plague your mornings? They used wooden neck rests. They slept on their sides. By resting their heads on curved blocks of wood or smooth stones, they kept their airways open and their spines perfectly straight. They did not suffer from snoring. Why do you choose soft, suffocating pillows over structurally sound support? Look at your brain. Pineal gland produces your sleep hormones. This tiny, pine-cone-shaped gland in your brain releases melatonin, a chemical messenger that tells your organs it is time to rest. Melatonin is highly sensitive to light. Did you know that even a tiny spark of artificial light can halt this process? Campfires did not stop melatonin. Wood smoke filters out blue light. Because the orange and red hues of a flickering fire do not contain the blue wavelengths of daylight, they allowed ancient hormones to flow freely. Your smartphone is a mini-sun. Are you tricking your brain into thinking it is noon at midnight? Ancient sleep was highly social. You sleep alone in isolation. For millions of years, human beings slept in large, tangled heaps of bodies where babies, parents, and grandparents shared warmth and security. This co-sleeping reduced biological stress levels. Why do modern parents force their infants to sleep in empty, dark rooms? Industrialism created the lonely nursery. This happened during Victorian times. Wealthy industrial families decided that sharing a bed was a sign of poverty and moral decay, pushing family members into separate bedrooms. They broke the ancient family bond. Is your child's night terror actually a biological cry for physical contact? Your brain builds up sleep pressure. This pressure is called adenosine. Adenosine is a natural chemical waste product that accumulates in your brain tissue every single hour that you remain awake and active. Caffeine blocks this chemical signal. How did your ancestors manage their daytime fatigue without a cup of coffee? They rested when they felt tired. They took long afternoon naps. During the hottest hours of the day, ancient humans would gather under the shade of acacia trees to rest and recharge their brains. This is called a siesta. Why does modern society view a midday nap as a sign of laziness? Your sleep consists of cycles. You drop into deep sleep first. During deep sleep, your brain washes itself with cerebrospinal fluid to clear out toxic proteins that can cause memory loss. Then you enter dream sleep. Did you know your dreams are actually a form of overnight therapy? Dreams process your emotional trauma. This is rapid eye movement sleep. By stripping away the painful emotions from your daily memories, your dreaming brain allows you to wake up with a fresh perspective. Ancient people valued these night visions. Could your lack of dreaming be making you more emotionally fragile? You live in concrete boxes. You block out natural sounds. By replacing the rustle of leaves with the hum of refrigerators, you create an environment that your evolutionary brain perceives as dead. A silent forest is a dangerous forest. Why does a dead, silent room make your brain feel so uneasy? Silence means a predator is near. Birds stop singing when danger approaches. When your modern bedroom is completely silent, your ancient survival mechanism assumes that a predator is stalking outside your door. Your nervous system remains on alert. Is your white noise machine actually a simulated safe forest? Sleep is not passive rest. It is an active survival strategy. By shutting down your physical body for several hours, you conserve precious metabolic energy that your immune system needs to fight off infections. Your ancestors healed while they slept. Could your chronic lack of sleep be the reason you catch every cold? This is an evolutionary mismatch. Your ancient body meets modern technology. You expect a Paleolithic brain to function perfectly while you expose it to constant blue light, high room temperatures, and social isolation. The system is breaking down. How can you expect to sleep well when you live in a biological zoo? Look at your soft mattress. It is a rectangular plush desert. Your body sinks into the synthetic foam while your spine curves like a wet noodle, forcing your lower back muscles to tighten in protest. Compare this to a clay floor. Why do you wake up feeling like you have been run over by a truck? Your brain has a waste system. This is the glymphatic system. During deep sleep, your glial cells, which look like tiny microscopic stars, shrink by 60% to allow fluid to wash away waste. This fluid is clear and watery. Is your brain currently swimming in its own day-old biological garbage? Picture a 17th century wooden cabin. A tallow candle flickers on the table. A farmer sits up in his linen nightshirt, writing in a leather journal or chatting with his wife while she spins wool by the hearth. They are in the middle watch. Could this dark, quiet hour be the most creative time of your entire day? The sand people watch the stars. They lie on coarse, woven mats. They do not look at plastic screens, but instead gaze at the silver path of the Milky Way until their eyelids naturally grow heavy. They feel the cold night breeze. Why do people lock themselves in heated boxes and stare at artificial stars? An old man sits by a log. He holds a wooden bow. While the teenagers and children sleep deeply under a dome of dry grass, his eyes scan the black shadows of the Tanzanian bush. He is the designated camp guardian. Does your grandfather's early waking habit make more sense when you see him as the tribe's protector? Hormones act like physical gears. Melatonin rises when darkness falls. But as the cold night air reaches its lowest point just before dawn, your adrenal glands release cortisol, a chemical spark plug that warms your body. This chemical heater wakes you up. Why are you trying to sleep in a bedroom that never cools down? Look at Victorian iron bed frames. They are narrow and cold. Industrial factories began churning out these single metal cots to prevent family members from sharing blankets and spreading what they believed was dirty air. This was the birth of isolation. Are you sleeping alone because of a 100-year-old marketing campaign? You turn off the lamp. Your room becomes a dark tomb. But your glowing smartphone screen still blasts your eyes with 10,000 lux of artificial light, mimicking the brightest midday sun on the equator. Your brain halts all melatonin production. Are you trying to sleep while your eyes are telling your brain it is noon? Open your bedroom window tonight. Let the cold air sweep in. Turn off the glowing screens, light a beeswax candle, and allow your mind to drift off without worrying about a solid 8-hour block. Accept the natural midnight wakefulness. Could your sleep problems disappear if you simply stopped fighting your evolutionary design? You look at your alarm clock. The blue numbers no longer scare you. You understand that your broken night is actually a beautiful, ancient design that kept your ancestors alive in a wild and dangerous world. Your body knows how to rest. Are you ready to finally sleep like a human?